Let's talk about starting to dropship books. If you want to start dropshipping books this year, here's the approach I want you to think about. The thing is that you have nearly 1 billion printed books were sold in the US last year. Can you imagine that? Nearly 1 billion books, okay? And this is actually more than a decade previously. I mean, everybody knows that Amazon, for that matter, started selling books. Today they are where they are. So dropshipping books is an easy way to get started if you don't fancy stocking or storing towers of hardbacks in a nearby warehouse. And this is kind of cool because the dropshipping model allows you to sell books without having to worry about inventory or shipping logistics. Okay. Now the question is, can you dropship books? The answer is yes. Can you dropship all kinds of books? No, because you want to make sure that the books that you are going to dropship have a certain commercial value, right? In fact, books are an incredibly popular product all over the world, which means your potential customer base is huge. So we're not just speaking about US-based clients, but we're speaking about the whole wide world, right? Think about billions of people. Now, to start dropshipping books, simply start an online store to display your product range. So we're speaking about you go into Amazon. I mean, you go into Shopify. You go into a big cartel. You go into WooCommerce or BigCommerce, having a store. And what happens here is that when you display your product range, you can actually forge a better relationship with a shopper. So when a shopper purchases a book, your chosen third-party bookseller is notified and ships the product directly from their own warehouse. And this eliminates the need to store books or manage inventory, operations, and shipping. So that's really cool in terms of flexibility. Fantastic. And there are a lot of benefits when it comes to dropshipping books. Let me go through a few of them here. You have a growing market. So despite the growth of online books, audiobooks, Kindles, and other digital formats, the physical book market remains popular. In the US, 65 to 70% of adults have read a print book in the last 12 months. Think about it, in the last year. You have a huge product selection. There are an estimated 200 million unique books worldwide last year, providing plenty of product choice for your dropshipping business. You have no storage cost, and you have passive income, right? Passive income. Once you have set up your online store and connected up a third-party book supplier, you can be very hands-off with operations, and you have also the possibility to tap into multiple niches. I mean, usually when it comes to dropshipping, we're advising our viewers and clients to have a niche, but here, the huge number of books means that there are plenty of niches to dig into. This can help you carve out a lucrative corner of the internet. So now that I've given you the global considerations to think about, let's talk about the steps that you need to follow to actually start dropshipping books. Let's go more granular. So first thing you have to do, you have to choose your niche. Now, of course, I think I've said this before that you have multiple niches, but you still have to start somewhere, right? You have to start with a niche and then expand from there. So the niche the niche you start from will be a niche that you're familiar with, a niche that you love personally, or a niche that you know something about. Don't choose something you have no idea about. You got to have a certain level of proximity with the niche that you are choosing, right? And it doesn't have to be emotional proximity. It can be geographic proximity. It can be psychological. It can be biological. Maybe you were born in an area, or you were born close to your childhood house is next to the author's childhood house. Also, I mean, you have all kinds of proximity factors. So you can always go for the scattergun approach and sell a whole range of books, from coloring books, children's books, and fiction books to biographies, recipe books, and encyclopedia. But it often works better to hone in on a specific niche. Carrying out product research will help you target a subsection of, let's say, book lovers, and create marketing copy that hits a spot every single time. And that's what you want. You want to be in a situation where you are hitting the spot every single time. Next, you want to set up your Shopify store, or you want to set up your WooCommerce store. You want to set up your Big Cartel store. You want to set up your Magento store. So basically, you want to make sure whatever platform you choose, whatever e-commerce platform you choose, make sure you incorporate your brand colors, fonts, and visuals, right? That's how you actually personalize the store you are just about to create. and you can add some information about your store because you want to build trust. And also, don't forget, you want to get pictures of the book covers to draw attention, and where possible, you want to highlight your best sellers to drive more sales. It's all about revenue generation, and revenue generation most of the time goes through what? Goes through differentiation. You have to brand yourself. You have to differentiate yourself if you want to sell more books. If you want to start dropshipping books this year, you want to choose your book supplier. I mean, of course, we are in a very competitive field, but in a very competitive field, the reputation of your book supplier plays an important role, because reputation in terms of delivery, reputation in terms of logistics, reputation in terms of customer service, right? You want to research the best dropshipping suppliers for books available and decide which one is most suitable for you based on the range of books that they sell, their fees, if any, and their operations processes. So in other words, the back office, right? Because remember, your customer doesn't know that you are dropshipping books, right? They're thinking they're buying from you. But the thing is that means if there are problems, if there are errors, if there are any shenanigans, the customer will think that the shenanigans came from you, not that they came from a third party. Only you know that the shenanigans, quote unquote shenanigans, came from a third party. So that's why you want to really choose the book supplier that actually hits a certain note of trust and reliability with you. Next, you want to actually create a marketing strategy. So you need to get eyeballs on your books, right? Because again, in a very competitive field, there's no way you are going to draw attention if you don't have the right strategy. So you want to create a marketing strategy that, for instance, incorporates channels like social media, email marketing, affiliate marketing, SEO, and paid advertising campaigns to actually direct book lovers to your website. Now, you can start with the free part of things. So social media is free to a certain extent. Email marketing can be free to a certain extent. Affiliate marketing is not free, it's paid. SEO is paid. Paid advertising campaigns are also paid. But the bottom line is you have to see your cash inflows and cash outflows. You have to see your resources and choose the strategy that works for you. And maybe you might have to have a mishmash of strategies from paid to unpaid or vice versa. But the bottom line is you want to draw as many eyeballs to your website. And once you have grown a customer base, keep them coming back by fostering long-term loyalty through ongoing campaigns and rewards. That way you can actually build a community. That's how you make money if you're drop shipping books. I want to talk to you now about the suppliers. I want to share with you a few drop shipping suppliers for books. And because the thing is, if you are going to drop ship books, you want to actually connect with a third-party supplier who will send purchased products to customers. And because they are in charge of storing the inventory, labeling shipments, and delivering products to buyers, right? So you have, I want to share with you a few suppliers. For instance, you have AliExpress. So AliExpress is one of the biggest dropship suppliers in the world, and the site has thousands of books to choose from. Shipping fees are usually very low, and you can deliver to over 200 countries and regions around the world. So that's really fantastic. What we love about AliExpress is that it's free to use. So you cover the cost of manufacturing and shipping fees. You also have Amazon. So like AliExpress, Amazon FBA has a huge existing audience and thousands of books to choose from. I think, as I said a little earlier, that Amazon started as a bookseller when they actually, like 20 years ago, they were selling books, and then they actually branched into other fields. So you can populate your bookstore with titles from the best authors in a variety of niches at a very affordable price. So that's really good, especially if the authors actually are in sync with your geography, with your targeted geography. And for Amazon, the pricing, you have free to use, so you cover the cost of shipping fees. You also have American Book Co. So this is another drop shipping supplier. And what we love about American Book Co. is that they are exclusive. So they focus solely on wholesaling books. And the cool thing is that you can actually browse books in 23 to 25 different categories. including biographies, entertainment. You have also a history and fiction. So that's really good. Now the pricing is 40% off traditional retail prices. So 40%. So 40%, that's their margin. That's the money they're keeping. So if you say for instance that you selling a book at $10, they're giving you $6 and they are pocketing $10. So be aware. I mean, they're pocketing $4 and they're giving you $6. If you're thinking about drop shipping books this year, I want you to think about Lulu Express. And Lulu actually lets you drop ship books and print your own on demand and send to our customers. You're able to deliver to more than 150 countries. Use the pre-built templates to print your own ebook and integrate your account directly with Shopify to automate the process. So that's really good. You can also integrate your account directly to BookCommerce BookCommerce, WooCommerce, and BigCommerce so that you can automate the process. Now, there is a possibility also to go through a third party such as AutoDS to automate the book dropshipping process. In terms of pricing, it's free to use. You pay for books to be printed and shipped. You also have a Half Moon Bay, and Half Moon Bay is a UK book dropshipping supplier that offers products in a range of different categories, not just books. So you want to browse hundreds of titles in different niches and connect to your Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce store for quick and easy sales. In terms of pricing, basically Half Moon Bay is free to use. You must actually ask for permission and certificates to dropship branded products. The other book dropshipper I want to share with you is AccuTrack. So think about AccuTrack as a book fulfillment company that prints books on demand and ships them to customers. They specialize in business, self-development, training, and wellness titles. And the cool thing is that you pay in terms of pricing, they have made it very flexible. So what happens here is that you pay one-off fees for each book printed and delivered, and this is kind of cool. And you are able to actually pocket the rest of the cash. So you have a larger profit capability when you go with AccuTrack versus other players. And that's one thing we love a lot, especially if you have a geography, if you have a target audience that lives in a geography that's very close. In other words, you have a target audience in the States, in the UK, in Australia, or let's say South Africa. It has to be linguistically close to the niche that you have chosen. Let me give you a few success tips here. So when we talk about dropshipping books this year, you have to understand that everything revolves around your reputation, right? The reputation that you have built. It's important to actually cultivate a better relationship with your target audience. In other words, you want to have you want to forge a community. And the best way you can do this is to actually read reviews. Compare potential book suppliers by reading reviews from existing customers. Make sure that a book supplier is reputable and other book business owners have had a good experience with the supplier. And you want to get all the details. So make sure that you get all the book details from suppliers, including the weight, number of pages, the material, and the color, right? The thing is that you have to, if you can't really touch the book, at least you need to have a clear idea. You got to have a granular idea about what the book looks like. Sell what you love. So if you have a favorite genre, why not stick to that? Knowing your target audience so well will help you create the right marketing messages, because you can actually put yourself in your customer's shoes and imagine what kind of message will resonate with them. And that's what you want. And you want to sell the right products. So as well as coming up with product ideas and choosing which books to add to your store, you want to link to the right products. So check for a language, the version of the book, for instance, and if there are other differentiating features. Now, the features actually that I'm talking here about have to relate to the geography, the chronology, or the demographics of your target audience. Also, you want to have a unique selling point, a USP, because remember, if you were, again, I want to insist on the fact that we are speaking about a very competitive market. Let me give you an example. Last year, for instance, you had close to 50,000 booksellers in the U.S. alone. So, in a very crowded marketplace, if you don't differentiate yourself, you will not survive. So, you want to stand out by identifying what makes you different. Will it be price, a niche product range, a very specific audience? You gotta have a unique selling point. Before I close to this conversation, let's have a few, let's say, question and answers about dropshipping books in general. It's important to understand that dropshipping books is very profitable. A lot of folks don't think that way. People think, well, dropshipping, you have to dropship regular products or you have to do a private label dropshipping, but you can actually dropship books in a very profitable manner. I mean, there is little to no capital to get started, and there are no storage or handling fees for inventory. Think about that. You can also cut out shipping costs by delivering products directly to the customer from your chosen supplier. So that's why it's important to actually choose the right supplier. The supplier has to be close to your target audience, not only geographically, but also operationally speaking. And you have to really understand that you don't have to buy the books that you dropship. When we talk about starting to dropship books this year, you do not necessarily have to buy the books you dropship, but it is a good idea to try out a test order from your supplier so you have a better understanding of their shipping experience, their packaging, for instance, and also their product quality control. Because see, the whole thing is that, again, the customer doesn't know that you are dropshipping. The customer doesn't know that you are actually going through a third party to dropship books or to ship books to him or her. That's why you want to put yourself in the customer's shoes and see the kind of experience they have. It's not up to you. If a dropshipping book dropshipper is not up to your standards, choose a different supplier and try the same again. Okay, don't actually try to cut corners. Your reputation is more important, and it's not really difficult to get in the dropshipping business. Okay, now of course this might require some patience and determination to get your online business off the ground. And so setting up your store and finding a supplier is very easy. The tricky part is finding your target audience and maintaining a sustainable profit. But every business goes through this, right? So it's important to keep working on your marketing and improving your website. And if you do this, what will happen here is that you are actually expanding your possibilities here, okay? And you will increase your chances of building a profitable dropshipping business, whether it be dropshipping books or dropshipping other products. So what's the bottom line here? In today's conversation, I spoke to you about how to start dropshipping books this year. I give you the approach, the steps, the suppliers, and the success tips. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.